What's good, everybody? It's your brother Mad Black, the most dangerous and the most toxic black man on the internet, and I am black up in your face again with some more pro-black commentary. So, very sad story coming out of Florida, where a black man who served in the Air Force was basically murdered by the police in his own home. The brother's name was Roger Fortson, and he was at home on a FaceTime call with, I believe, his girlfriend, and the police were called. They said there was a disturbance at the apartment complex, or, they claimed that Robert Fortson was causing the disturbance, but he was in there by himself. And, you know, they came banging on his door, and they said sheriff's office. They banged on his door and said sheriff's office. And he went and got his gun, because I don't think he heard the part where they said sheriff's office. He just heard someone violently banging on his door. And so he went and got his gun, which he is obviously legally permitted to carry. And he kept his gun down by his side. He opened the door. And the position that he's in, he has a gun in his right hand, but his gun is down by his side. And he has his left hand up as almost kind of like saying, wait. But before he can say anything, the cop just opens fire and shoots Robert Fortson at least 5 times. I heard 5 shots in the video that I watched of it. And Robert Fortson obviously goes down to the ground, and he later dies of his injuries. I mean, it's a very brutal video. If you've seen it, they have played it on the news, not the shooting part. They cut the visual out, but keep playing the sound. And it's brutal. I'm talking about as soon as the door opens up, he gets shot, and shot brutally, like just cold-blooded murder. And you would think that he got shot because he was aiming at the police. No. Once again, the position his body is in, he's very relaxed. He has his left hand up, basically almost saying stop or wait or whatever. And the gun is in his right hand, but it's down by his side. So it's not like he's pointing the gun at the cops, but as soon as they open the door, they shoot him to death, right? So obviously, this has brought up a lot of pain and confusion in the black community, and a lot of people are very upset about this. When you have a black man who is serving the country, he's serving in the American military and in the Air Force, which is not easy to get into, by the way. But the fact that he's serving in the Air Force and gets murdered by the police shows that there is no difference between how white people or white supremacist cops treat pookies or how they treat the quote-unquote good black men. There is no difference, okay? This is something I've tried to explain to a lot of my people all the time. Doesn't matter if you have your pants sagging. Doesn't matter if you have braids or whatever. All that stuff doesn't matter. Once again, this brother was clean-shaven in the military, good-looking young man, and was shot to death, right? So this is why I don't like to get into the whole, this black person was bad, so he deserved to get shot type deal, because it doesn't matter to these demons out here. But, a lot of people are now asking for some justice here, and the police are quote unquote investigating as to what happened. This deputy is obviously trigger happy, because if someone's not, just because someone has a gun doesn't mean you just open fire, especially in a state like Florida, where you have the legal right to carry a firearm, right? You didn't ask anything. You didn't say put it down or drop it. You didn't even give him an opportunity to say anything. You just shot him and killed him. So, when you have these scary ass police officers like this, because I'm sure he's probably going to say he feared for his life, or he was scared when he saw a black man with a gun. If your ass is scared, you don't need to be on the police department. But, even so, they're even thinking that he might have even had the wrong house. Apparently the police were called for a disturbance. They might not even have the right apartment, but they just automatically killed this black man in his house. And once again, not only is his Second Amendment being violated, but his Fourth Amendment is being violated. The right to be safe within your own house. And, to be, basically the protect your own domain. All that was violated. So when it comes to black people, we have none of those rights. We don't have the rights or even the luxury of being safe in our own homes when these scumbags can literally just come to your house and blow you away. And I feel terrible for his family. When I'm sure when he graduated from college or the Air Force, this is not what they expected to happen to him. I'm sure they thought nothing but good things for their son and good things for his future. Because he's very young, by the way. And the fact that his life was ended so tragically with I'm talking about like not with an ounce of hesitation by these goddamn demons is horrible. And like I said, I feel terrible for his family. I feel bad for his girlfriend that had to hear that on your FaceTiming your boyfriend or your FaceTiming your friend, and you literally hear him get murdered. That's got to be traumatic for her as well. So, like I said, I just feel terrible about the whole situation. The only people I don't feel bad for is the police, because obviously they don't know how to act. They're like complete savages. Now listen, we just watched the video over a week ago with that white woman, Sandra Dorley. Now, granted, it was in a different state. It was in New York. But this white woman was acting a goddamn fool, reaching in her car, going in her house, walking all around her garage. And that cop didn't blow her away. He had enough sense to not pull his gun on her. But this cop just comes to the door and has a gun in hand and just starts blasting. He's really, if he's doing just a checking on a disturbance, I don't know what the disturbance was, but you're not supposed to just go walking in there blasting. What's wrong with you, demon? I guess that is what's wrong with him, and that he is a demon. But now this young black man is dead, and you have another family looking for answers and just have basically a hole in their life because their loved one has been taken away by these over-militarized, insane in the membrane police. I mean, you folks can let me know how you feel about this story in the comments section. I will keep abreast of it because I want to see where this goes. I want to see what happens. And I want to say this because I already know this is happening out there. I know there's a bunch of these white supremacist, conservative, bigoted pigs who are out there pretending that now all of a sudden that this black serviceman has been shot, they don't believe in the Second Amendment anymore. Because I'm sure they're going to be blaming him for getting shot, saying like, why did he have a gun, even though he's a legal gun owner, right? I'm sure they're all, basically just tearing him down and making it seem like it's his fault that he got shot. Now, they can have all the guns they want. They can come to the door. They can shoot at the police. There have been several stories of white people shooting at the police. White children, old white people running at the police with butcher knives or machetes, and somehow these white people still survive somehow. They wind up being taken alive. But when it's black people who are legal gun owners, who are allowed to have the gun, have a right to defend themselves, who are even in the military or cops themselves, all of a sudden that Second Amendment goes right out the window. You haven't heard anything from these alt-right people or the NRA or even any of these black conservatives where they're defending this man for his Second Amendment right. They're going to just try to go out there and defend the white police no matter what. I already know it. So you folks let me know how you feel about it in the comments section. I'd very much like to hear your opinions on this story. Anyway, Mad Black, and I will be back with my foot on the devil's back.